Hi guys, it's your resident numerologist, Michelle Herbeau for LotteryUSA.com, and it's the Celebrity Spotlight. So I chose Frank Sinatra this week, and although he's passed, he has such an interesting chart and background and stuff like that. I thought I can't pass this one up. So he really kind of brought the noise all the way through his life. I mean, he did a lot of things and had chalked up a lot of personal experience, did a lot of different things like movies and singing and right up until his death pretty much. So looking at his chart though, he must have had some help because bringing his ideas to fruition was his greatest challenge. So he would have had a lot of roadblocks, a lot of stumbling blocks. It's kind of like The Secret. If you've ever watched the movie The Secret or heard about The Secret, it's like you can think about what you want. Let's say you want that Bentley in your yard, and you're thinking about it all day, and you're imagining, oh, the interior's red, it's this, it's that. And then he has got a lot of feeling energy. He's got a 2 and a 5, and he's just missing the 8 on the soul plane. So his main area is here. So he's got a lot of passion behind his ideas. But on the physical, he doesn't have a lot to ground him. So he's kind of like a lollipop with a big head and a stick body. So like The Secret, they're missing one thing, which is the action. So what are you doing today, tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day to bring that Bentley into your yard? What action are you taking? So you can think about it all day and you can put passion behind it, but it's never going to manifest if you don't put steps in place. So that's the part that I always say that they're lacking in that movie. But that's the way Frank Sinatra's chart looks. So he must have had what I like to call interdependence, because I love that book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, because it talks about independence, codependence, and interdependence. And a lot of great leaders, a lot of great people like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Henry Ford, they all admitted openly to saying, I built my empire larger. I hit a plateau where it's like I had to bring people in temporarily to do things that I couldn't. And so that's how they built such massive empires. And I think that he probably had some help with the execution of his ideas. So that was, definitely probably the case with him, because he had the passion and the ideas. That was no problem. But what's interesting with his chart is that he started out with a 6, so it would have been a lot of relationship stuff right off the bat. I mean, he probably racked up a lot of relationship stuff, which probably showed up a lot in his work later on. And I mean, there's a lot of singers, a lot of actors that do bring that into their work. And then he hit a 1 after that, a 1 cycle for 9 years, which is all about outward. 1 is the ego number, the first number of the physical plane. So it's all about doing, achievement, success. It's like the house, the car, the picket fence, 2.3 kids and a dog, and the bank account, and all the outward stuff you can think about of the physical life. And then boom, in his 50s, actually right at 50, he hit a 16-7. So it was like, turn the page, turn the chapter. It's like you could draw a line in the sand right there, where it was like he suddenly arrived. It was like all the stuff that he had been through was like notches on his belt. And then at 50, it was like, okay, now it's go time. Because that's when he, probably, I mean, I haven't really read it completely, but from what I've read so far about him is that he brought the noise later, like 40s, 50s and beyond. And so that was the line drawn in the sand. And then 50 to 59, he would have been in that turn the page, rearranging his life and doing something vastly different. But then he ended on a 10. So he actually started at 59 officially, a 10 cycle, which is all about communication, but it's also about mentoring. So it would have been like, I arrived, I did my thing, now I'm giving back in some way, or I'm being more humanitarian and mentoring, like, hey, listen, I've been there, this is what happened to me, kind of thing. And so, if he had been alive today, his personal year would be a 16-7 this year, actually, and he'd be in a peak of 10 still. So it would be another turning of the page and another line drawn in the sand. So something else he would have been doing. But, I truly believe that we all have exit points, and looking at his chart, you can see that he did what he came to do. And, from 59 till his death, he did what it was finalization. It was like the mentor. I did my empire, now I'm sharing, giving back. So it worked out. I mean, his gift is a 6, which is a visionary. And so he saw the bigger picture, and he was very creative because 6 is a creative number. But he also has his year as the 16-7. So there's that 16-7 again. It's all through his stuff. And it's all about truth. It's all about like revealing truth in a big way, like aha moment truth. Like not just small potatoes truth. It's like ripping the Band-Aid off, that kind of truth. So when he saw the vision for somebody or saw the vision, whether it be writing a song or doing a movie, it was like it had to have meaning. It had to have real raw truth to it, like a story of some kind that just gave you that feeling of like, wow, that kind of energy. And so intuitive because he's got, the double 2s, the 5, I mean, really just soulful, so soulful. And he's a 22-4, which is a master builder, which is kind of like, I call it earth angel energy because he's a builder. I mean, he's definitely like an empire builder, not just for himself, but for other people, other causes. And he would be the type to walk into a room of people and say, okay, this is how we build it. And then my work here is done, and walk out. So it's kind of like that energy that just comes in, changes everything, and gives everybody the aha moment and then walks back. So he's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool cat. And although he's passed, I'm still going to say happy birthday, Frank Sinatra. You were definitely one of those people that contributed to society and left your mark on the world in a big way. So happy birthday. Tune in again next week and we'll have another Celebrity Spotlight here on LotteryUSA.com.